What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the Who's Reality Cooking podcast. This week, I have Purvi from MasterChef Season 13 with me. How are you?
I'm good. I'm so excited to be here. It's really making me feel that I'm back then where I was in MasterChef.
Oh, awesome. Well, I wanted to kind of get to know you. I find that watching these shows are even more fun when you feel like you kind of know a little bit more about the people who are contestants on the show. And I wanted to kind of ask you, where did your love of cooking start from, and when did you start cooking and or baking?
Well, when I finished my 10th grade, I was in India. I migrated 21 years ago when I got married to my husband. So when I was in India after my 10th, after my 10th final exams, I told my mom that I want to do some cooking. So she's like, okay, find out some courses. And my mom was a very amazing cook, but unfortunately she passed away 10 years ago. So I went to this class and I learned like a little bit of baking, little bit of bread making, stuff like that. But then, I when I met my husband, he was in here and it's an arranged marriage. So my mother-in-law asked if I cook because my husband loves to eat and he enjoys food, all kind of food. So I said, sure. That's where I started cooking every day. And when I came to the US, I've been cooking since then. And my baking, I would say that this started during COVID. I never used to bake. I've always hosted Thanksgiving. I have done like 40 to 50 people, but no baking. So one day my daughter comes down from her room and she says, Mom, can we make cupcakes? I've never baked before that. So we went and bought the box mix and we made the cupcake and we started designing and decorating and everything. And she lost the interest. And she said, I don't like it. It's way too much. So that's where I started my baking.
Oh, I love it. That's so fun. And I kind of want to try to keep this all very in chronological order, but I feel like I have to jump ahead and talk about the dish that you made for, to try to get onto the show. You made a beautiful baked dessert, but it was 4 flavors. Is that right?
Yeah, I made like bundt cakes, vanilla bundt cakes, but I infused them with 4 different flavors, which was cardamom, rose, gulab jamun, and saffron. So it was something which I wanted to do and wanted to show that I can in a 30-minute time or 45 minutes time, I can still bake and give you the dish, and that's where I got my apron with 4 yeses.
That was so amazing. It's just so exciting when someone gets 4 yeses and they looked delicious.
Yeah, thank you
How,
so much.
oh yeah. How did you infuse them with these different flavors? Did you, cook them down in the milk? How did that work?
Well, the batter was the same, but then I divided 2 from each batter to making those different flavors because if I don't do the flavors while baking, they will taste the same. So I did that for I divided the batter into 4 different sections and then I made it the 4 different types of bun cakes.
Wow, they just looked so fantastic. Wow.
Thank
Okay,
you.
sorry I got distracted on food. It's gonna happen. So tell me, how did you get picked for the audition? Did they find you on social media? Did you go to a casting call? How did that work?
And no, you know what? It was very surprisingly. I just was surfing and I found that MasterChef auditions are open. And I said, okay, let me try. It's never going to come. And I tried. And after like 3 months or something, I was playing I went out with my coworkers and we were at the bowling alley and my phone rings and I'm like, oh, this is a very weird number. It's from LA or something. I said, I don't know. My instinct said to just pick it up. I usually don't pick up the phones like that. So I picked up and this lady's like, hi, can I speak with Purvi? And I was like, oh, this is me. And then he's like, oh, we are from MasterChef. And I was like, no, no, I thought somebody is doing a prank on me. And that's how the process started. And they said, we liked your audition video and whatever you sent. It was really nice. So that's where all the process started.
Is so interesting. And how long from the time that they called you were you at MasterChef? Were you on the studio or in the
It was
studio?
6 to 7 months,
Oh,
way maybe
wow.
more than that, but it was a long wait because they used to come back with something. Okay, provide us this, provide us that, and then I just provide it, and they're gone for weeks, and then it took me like 7 to 8 months.
That is a long time to wait to find out.
That's true.
Oh, wow. How was your daughter feeling about all of this? Was she cheering you on? Was she not wanting you to go?
Why
What was
she
that
wanted,
like?
yeah, she really wanted me to go. My parents, my husband, like my family, my son, they all wanted me to go. So they were very excited. And that's because they're a little bit older. So my son is in college and daughter was in ninth grade. So I said I can take a chance and then go, and they're going to be fine.
Yeah, that's definitely a good age. When they're little, that's kind of rough.
Yeah.
But when they're older and they're teenagers, they're like, just go, mom.
That's exactly what happened.
Did you do any preparing before you went on the show? Did you watch old seasons, read cookbooks? What did you do to prepare?
I actually prepared that I used to cook every night. And my mom was from a different part of India, which is called Kashmir. It's like good food from there. So when I was preparing myself, I thought I'm going to just make food from there. Like if it's a like bring my, what I've learned from my mom. But the pressure is so much over there that you just forget things. So yeah, so what I used to do every weekend, I used to cook and call my friends and ask them to eat and tell me what I can improve. So that's the preparation I did.
Oh, that's great. Did the friend group grow and grow and people found out about all the awesome food?
And yeah, they did. And then I started taking to work and people started enjoying. So I was like, okay, I'm doing good. I'll be okay.
Oh, that's great. And you were so much fun to watch. I'm
Oh,
only
thank you.
really reaching out to the people that I want to talk to. And
Oh,
it was
that's
just so
nice of
much
you.
fun watching you. What was it like meeting the judges for the first time? Were you
Oh,
like butterflies in your stomach? Was it like an out of body experience? What was that like?
it was definitely butterflies in my stomach because when Gordon came to my audition round on my station, I just couldn't believe it's Gordon Ramsay standing in front of me and he's talking to me. So that was something which it's a one-time experience you have in your life, and it was just an honor to cook for all three of them and getting the right their judgment, what I can improve, what I can. So it was really fun.
That's really neat. Now, I didn't send you this question ahead of time. And for anyone listening or watching, I really do like to send the questions ahead of time so that she can feel, comfortable and familiar with them. But what I did want to ask is, and tell me if you can't answer, how many days of those auditions, was it all done in one day? Was it cut up into 3 days? Because I believe it was three to four episodes. How was that cut up?
Yeah, it was. I think they did it because for the first time, I think they were doing this the sections they divided northeast and west and all that. So it did take a time because there were almost 20 contestants, and only, I'm sorry, 40 contestants, and 20 were supposed to go on. So yes, it did take 3 to 4 days for us to be in top 20.
Oh, wow. So my other question for you, and I was actually going to save this one because I'm going to chat with Sarah next week, but what happens if there's 40 of you guys, what happens if the 39th person has cooked and presented and gets the 20th apron? What happens to that last person? How
I
does
don't
that
know
work?
how. No, I seriously don't know how they place these things, but what we were only knowing that, okay, this person or maybe two come. I really don't know how they place these things because it all depends upon. You're right. Like if the 39th person got the thing, and what will the last one do? But unfortunately, I never experienced that, so I don't know.
What number were you in your region to cook? Were you one of the first?
Yeah, I was one of the first, few first, yeah. So I think after me was another 4 or 5 to go.
Okay. Yeah, you were in a good spot when they had lots of leftover aprons, but you got 4 yeses. So that was not luck. That was talent for sure.
Oh my God. Thank you so much.
Well, and you had mentioned while you were talking about what you wanted to get out of this experience and what your dreams and hopes were. I wanted to ask you, you had mentioned wanting to open up your own dessert shop or your own bakery. Is that still a dream? Is it in the works? what are your plans for that?
It's definitely a big dream of mine. And I want to open up a bakery, not just a regular bakery. What I want to do is I want to open a bakery and I want to showcase desserts from all over the world. So there are people who can't travel. So maybe one week I'll just do Italy and I have all the desserts from Italy so they can come and enjoy. That concept I have in my mind, but I'm not sure whether it's when I'm going to do it because I do have a side business. I work full time, but I have a home bakery and I do very limited orders. So that is one thing I'm hoping in near future I will be able to open up.
Oh, I hope so too. And it makes me think, I can't help it. I'm a Gilmore Girls super fan. There's a restaurant on that show. Do you watch the show as well?
My daughter pushed me to watch that show because that's her favorite show.
It's so great. Well, Al's Pancake World has a different region every week. So if they can do it on Gilmore Girls, it's got to be a thing. So I think that would be amazing.
I live in a very small town, and sometimes when we are going out driving or something, my daughter was like, "Mom, see, exactly like Gilmore Girls," and I was like, "Oh my God."
Well, you have to tell her I brought it up because maybe she'll get a kick from it.
Yeah, I will definitely.
I do love that show. It's really funny. So what I also wanted to ask is, out of everything that you made, what was your favorite dish from the show? And is it something that you continue to make at home or something you've continued to perfect?
Yeah, well, if you've seen the show that you saw that I got eliminated on butter chicken. So that is one of the dish which I have been cooking for years and I've always got good compliments. I didn't know things didn't work out. Maybe they didn't like the taste, which I do. So when I came back, I have tried different versions of butter chicken this time. And I give it to my kids and then whatever they like, okay, this gravy is good. This is not good. So that's what I'm hoping one day I'm going to meet Gordon and I say, you know what, try my butter chicken now and tell me.
Yeah, and I didn't even want to bring it up because I try to keep this super positive, but since you brought it up, yeah, it looked amazing to me. I wonder if it was just one of those things where they had to pick, I don't know, because it just seemed like it looked amazing.
It was fun. Whatever experience I've gained, I have really had fun of it, but my timing was a little bit off with my family issues. So I think whatever God did, they did their best. So that means I need to go home. So I came home with my family. So that's the time where they needed me the most. But yes, there will be one day when I'm going to reach out to Gordon and say, come try my butter chicken.
If you hear that, Gordon, she's coming for you. Did you feel like you got to really showcase your specific style of cooking and baking on the show? I feel like you did, but I'd love to know if you feel that way as well.
Baking, I would say yes, because that's how I got my apron. But cooking, I think I would if I would have stayed more, I would have brought them more Indian flavors, which I just told you the earlier when I was talking that I wanted to bring more Kashmir food, which is like spice and flavors and meats. So that's what I learned, and that's what I wanted to showcase. But maybe some other show, I don't know.
Is there a dream dish that if you could go back for just one day that you would make for the judges? Is there something?
Yeah, I wanted to make my mom's favorite. That was she used to make like a ground goat and make like a kebabs out of it with a yogurt curry. So that's the best thing which she used to love. So I wanted to make that for the judges, and I'm pretty sure they would have enjoyed.
I have no doubt. As I watched, I noticed, and I'm sure you noticed, I don't know if the listeners would have noticed, but I saw fatigue on people. There were weeks that they were just doing amazing. And then the next episode, they were clearly exhausted. Did you struggle with fatigue, and what was that like for you?
The days were longer as compared to your usual days, and you're standing and doing all that work. So it was bringing a toll on our body. But like coming back to your room, relaxing and not doing anything, that was also an advantage that I can just relax the whole time. So there were some bad days, some good days. So that's how my time over there was.
And what was the downtime like? Were you guys all hanging out together? Were you just sleeping? Were you studying? And was there a lot of downtime or was it just go, go, go?
No, there was downtime. We were about to talk and mingle around after that. They sit down and have a glass of wine and talk to them. And anything which anybody can help out. And they're talking about your families. What are you doing? And all that stuff. We did get some time to talk about ourselves.
That's so great. I found, and I had done a show years ago, but I found one of the greatest things that came out of it were the friendships that I made. So are you still in contact with anyone from the show?
Most of them, yes. But then you get into your busy life. But recently I met Charles. He came to New York and I said, I'm definitely coming to meet you. So yes, and they all are so supportive, like they look at I'm on Instagram posting every day because of my business. They keep liking, they keep telling me it's so nice. That motivation really makes you do good.
I love that. That's so sweet. I'm so glad that you're still in contact with so many people. What about your apron? Do you guys get to keep your aprons or do they take them back?
No, we did. We did get our aprons in the mail, and the day it came, I opened it and I got a video out of it on TikTok, and I was like, "Oh my God, I can't believe!" Because unfortunately, when I got my apron, my family was not with me because of my family issues. So I had nobody from my family, but I had the other family right there supporting me. So that apron when came, and then I wore it in front of my family. They were like, so happy, especially my daughter. She says, "Wow, Mom, this looks so good."
Oh, well, do you use it or is it like you don't use it because you don't want to mess it up?
No, I don't want to use it to mess it up. I'm probably going to put it in a frame and then somewhere because something this lifetime, like, no, not everybody gets it.
Oh, absolutely. And are they white? The one that you got in the mail?
Yes, they're white. Yeah. And I had a white and a blue because I was one of the team lace too. So I have a blue one and a white one.
Wow. Yeah. See, I would not be able to use a white one. I'd be so worried I'd mess it up.
No.
I love that you guys got to keep your aprons. So many of these shows, they don't let you bring them home, which I don't understand, but I'm glad that not only do they let you keep them, they sent them to you. That's
that
so
was
exciting.
Really nice of MasterChef. Yes.
That's so exciting. So what would you say would be your fondest memory from the show?
Well, definitely my fondest memory is when I got the apron in front of all 4 judges. Nobody can take that memory out of my life. Yeah, meeting friends, going out with them. We went out one day and we had, all those memories which I've created are definitely going to stay with me. And, that sometimes I think about it, what if I would have done this way? So maybe I would have stayed more. Those things do come to my mind. But yeah, the memory is when God said yes, that he was a sport. Yes. And I said, oh my God.
Yeah, it was so much fun. I do kind of want to pivot, and feel free not to answer this if you don't want to, but you've mentioned a couple of times some family issues. Did you want to talk about that, or is that just private?
No, I can talk. It's just that my father-in-law was sick and my husband was traveling to India, and he was in India. Actually, he was coming for my audition to LA on the 16th of January or whatever that time was, and he was, we were on the phone and he told me and he said, you know what, somebody's trying to call me from India. And then the phone call was that his dad passed away. So instead of coming to LA, he had to go to India. So he was in India. My son was in college and my daughter was ninth grade. She was all by herself, taking care of family, house, food, school, dog. It was really getting too much for her. So I think I really wanted to come back to her because it was not likely. She was just stressed out.
I get it. I get it. And I very much personally understand just wanting to go back and be with family. And I'm so sorry for your loss. And
thank you.
But wow, your daughter she's amazing if she was holding down the fort.
Yeah, she was. And such blessed neighbors that they took care of her, and she's really independent. That is a good thing about her.
That's awesome. Now, what grade is she in now?
I'm sorry?
What grade is she in now?
Oh, she's in 10th grade right now.
All right. Well, she'll be all ready for college then when the
I
time
know my
comes.
son's graduating in a month, and that she will be ready in 2 years. I have some time to breathe.
Oh, wow. So, what else would you like to share about the show? Is there anything that you would wish you had known before you went on, or any advice for people who maybe want to try out for MasterChef or one of these shows?
I would just tell them that be yourself. Just do your best, because it's not that I'm not a good chef or whoever went for the first out of the 20 is not a good chef. It's just that it's luck and your hard work. Sometimes they are together with you, sometimes either one will be with you. So just do your best, have fun, because this is one opportunity which you're never going to get it again in your life. So just enjoy the moment.
I love that. And if there was one, say for instance, there's a listener who's never made Indian food at home and it just seems so daunting, where should they start? What would you recommend?
Well, there are such good cooks. They can follow like the Indian cooks, and if you Google it, butter chicken, there was tons and tons of recipes gonna come. But just go through what I feel is sometimes I've never made pasta in my life, but since I've come back from MasterChef, I started making fresh pasta. So that I went on and saw which recipe is good for me. So I mean, it's gonna help me easy, fast. So just read the recipe and see if you're able to do it or not.
I love that. Just try. And I love to tell people that cooking is the only place in your life where if you mess up, ordering a pizza is the answer to your problem. And that's kind of beautiful.
That's true. Something's going to come out of it. You're going to eat it anyways.
Yeah, either you're going to eat the food that didn't come out well, or you get to order a pizza. It's a win-win situation.
Correct. I agree.
Well, I'm so excited to hear more about your dessert shop. And when it does open, I would love for you to come back on the podcast and maybe show us around, give us a little tour. Is there anything, since you want it to change regionally from time to time, is there anything that has to be on the menu all the time? Or would it be, say, for instance, your bundt cakes, but maybe the flavor profile changes? Is there something that just has to be?
There are two things definitely going to be there. One, definitely the bundt cakes, which I made, because those are the ones who brought me fame. And the second is my cupcakes. Love for my cupcakes, my floral cupcakes. That's something which I can do it 24/7. If I'm tired from work also, and if I want to do it, I'll do it. So floral cupcakes will definitely be in my bake shop.
Oh, that's really fun. So are they decorated with the floral on top?
Yeah, well, I do different. I have taken online classes, and I actually 3 years ago I took my first online class, and now I'm teaching the cupcake decorating classes. So yes, and there's a lot of time to improve, and I'm going to keep going, so that that love for my cupcakes will always be there. If somebody just calls me and say, "Hey, I need cupcakes," and I don't have time, I'll make sure I'll make that time.
Oh, that's so great. Where can people take your cupcake classes at? Are they just local or are they online?
Local for now. I haven't started online yet, but local. Like I went to the Princeton adult school, and I taught almost 12 to 14 ladies came there, and I taught them how to decorate. So I love doing that.
Oh, that's so great. How has the being on the show changed your life? Has it, have you just been inundated with amazing messages, or, what's that been like for you?
This show has really given me so much happiness that I did have an instance where there are two incidents which I cannot forget in my life. One was I was at the park, and then somebody said, my friend was introducing it to me to her friend. So she said, she was Purvi in MasterChef. And there was this girl, she just turned around. She said, "Are you Purvi Dogra from MasterChef?" And I was like, yeah, that was my fan moment right there.
Oh, I
and
love
then
it.
The second one, which definitely was when my daughter's turning 16. So we are going to have a party for her in one of the banquets. So this lady was passing by. She came back. She looked at me and she's like, "Are you Purvi?"
Oh, that's so cool.
That recognition which I've got and is definitely, this show has helped me build that up.
I think that's so great. So, where can people follow you on social media? Do you have a website? Where can people find you right now?
Yeah, well, I have two different platforms where I'm just doing it. One is under my business, which is called Everything But Plates. That's all baking and all my desserts, my cupcakes, cakes, all are in there. And there's one I just started with Chef Purvi, and I'm teaching Indian cooking. So I just had a couple who really wanted to learn Indian cooking. So uh, his mom gave uh, a New Year, I'm sorry, a Christmas gift to them and bought my class. So I went to their home and I taught them how to make chicken korma and paneer and some human rice. So that is called under Chef Purvi. And if anybody wants to learn something or anything, they can reach out to me and we can work it out.
That is so great. I've heard from so many people, so many contestants and home cooks and chefs who do private cooking, but to private teaching, private classes, that is so cool. That is really outside of the box, and
Yeah,
and
that's
I
something
hope
which I
it
really
gets
want to
big.
do. And when if I have my bakery, my aim is to open up a school with it because I love cooking. Cooking is in my blood. Like it just makes me happy. Want to do it. Just stress. It takes the stress out of my body. So definitely, if anybody wants to learn Indian cooking or baking or whatever, they can reach out to Everything But Plates on Instagram and MasterChef. I'm sorry, Chef Purvi as well.
Awesome. And anyone listening, I'll make sure to put all of that in the show notes. So it's really easy to find. So if you're in the car right now, don't worry. I've got you. Well, thank you so much. Is there anything else that you wanted to talk about or anything else you wanted to plug while you were here with us?
Just that's all. Like what I said in past, that just be yourself. Do whatever you want to do. If it's this is your passion, make it happen. It's gonna happen. It take time, but it will happen. Just follow your passion.
I love that. And it's a perfect place to end. Thank you, Purvi. Thank you so much for making time. For anybody listening, we had to carve out some serious time because she is very busy. So thank you so much for
Thank
making the
you.
time.
I had a pleasure.
Oh, it was so much fun to chat with you. And everyone, please make sure to tune in to the next episode of Who's Reality Cooking and check the show notes so that you can find Purvi on social media, so you can hire her to teach you how to cook, and so you can keep up on the happenings for her upcoming bakery. I'm just going to put it out into the universe. I'm going to manifest that for you. It's happening.
So much. I really, really appreciate that.
Thank you. Well, make sure to
Thanks.
also tell us if you when you open your bakery so that we can get a little tour around.
Definitely.
All
Definitely.
right. Okay. Thanks
Okay.
so much.
Bye.